I am back, and you probably thought I'd given up on the channel, but I have not. Okay, I've been through here before and seen this rock pile. That's clearly somebody made the rock pile here. I don't know why. The only thing I had to go on is this picture right here. All right, we've arrived at the cave, some sort of a cross. Maybe it was Kenny Veach who put something there, I don't know. These spikes are like hypodermic needles. They will stab you. This might make a good shank or something. Oh, look, we got some artifacts here. I was sitting here on this old stovepipe, I guess. I think it is an axe. I don't see a pile of rocks, but I do see another bone out here. Now, I don't think it's human, it's probably animal. I do see more bones. Ladies and gentlemen, we found it. Oh shit! Welcome, thanks for watching. About an hour north of Las Vegas, deep in the Sheep Mountains, is a mythical place called Joe May Canyon. This is Joe May Canyon here. And what's significant about this canyon? About 10 years, 11 years or so ago, a man named Kenny Veach walked out there and disappeared, never to be seen or heard from again. He walked straight out there to an old mine shaft, and that's the last place his articles were found. They found his phone out there and no trace since then. I don't think he's in the mine shaft, had been out there, but he disappeared out there without a trace. It's a strange place. Several supernatural occurrences have been documented out here, such as like phantom footsteps, where you hear or feel something running up behind you, but you turn around, there's nothing there. But it's I've been out here several times during the day, at night, and it's creeped me out. But it's been a while since we've been out here. I haven't been making any videos, and you probably wondered where I am, but I'm here. I am back, and you probably thought I'd given up on the channel, but I have not. I very much will keep making videos. This is who I am, this is what I do, and Joe May Canyon is my home away from home. So today I'm gonna go out there for something very specific. It's not gonna be a long hike, but it is an important hike. I've got a confession to make. My first time in Joe May Canyon about 2 years ago, I found something, and I didn't tell you. I didn't tell anybody about it. And what I found was a pile of rocks, and looks like it's man-made, and I don't think it's a rock cairn. I don't think it's natural. Let's take a look. I'll show you the video that I have not posted before. Okay, I've been through here before and seen this rock pile. That's clearly somebody made the rock pile here. I don't know why. It's not a rock cairn, it's a rock pile, and there could be something buried there. It could be an animal, a pet, or anything. It's hard to say. Hell, it could have been $1,000 cash, $100,000 cash. You never know. But at any rate, I'm not going to dig it up. There's really no reason to. I'm just going to leave it be and keep on going my way. But just like I said, just something notable to call out that somebody put that there for a reason. Don't know why. We'll just keep on going. So you can see in the video, that really does look like somebody put that pile of rocks there under a bush. Why would they do that? You know, they could have hidden something there. It's entirely possible Kenny Veach may have hid an important clue there. The only problem is I've been back out there several times and I couldn't find it. The only thing I had to go on is this picture right here. That's all I had to go on. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go out there. It's about halfway or so out before the Kenny Veach mine. Using only that picture, I'm gonna try to find this pile of rocks. I've tried to find it before. I've studied the pictures extensively, and I'm going to try to find this pile of rocks. It may be a pile of rocks, or there may be the last and final note of Kenny Veach, or some important piece of evidence from the Kenny Veach investigation out there that could solve the case. I don't know. It's Las Vegas. Sometimes if you want to win big, you gotta roll the dice, and that's what we're doing today. Come on, let's head on out there and start the hike. It feels good to be back in the desert. It's been a while, several months since we've been out here. A couple of reasons for that. It's been extremely hot, and I don't come out here if it's more than 90 degrees, which it frequently is during the summer in Las Vegas area. So it is, it's mid-September, and the weather's finally starting to cool off, which means we're able to do these hikes. I did have a quick trip up to Canada, and I did a trip to film the movie set where they filmed Rambo First Blood, one of the scenes up there. Really kind of a cool thing. I wanted to see that for a long time, so an opportunity to head up to Vancouver. So when I was up there, I did film that video. Hope you've seen it. It's on the channel right now. As far as the Desert Dash National Wildlife Refuge, Kenny Veach investigation, this is our meat and potatoes. This is where we live. This is why we do what we do. It all started a couple of years ago when I started filming videos and hike videos. I did one hike video where I was kind of trying to retrace Kenny Veach's steps, and that seemed to really take off and got really popular. So you guys seem to like these videos. So as long as you're watching, liking, subscribing, I'll keep making them. But you've got to watch, like, and subscribe, because that's what makes the channel popular, and that's what drives me. So, you know, these videos are as much yours as they are mine. The last couple of months I've been busy working other projects. I did another trip out to the Far East. Some cool stuff out there. I go out there about, you know, a couple times a year, visit friends, and take some much needed rest and relaxation. But I really do love the desert. Now, Joe May Cave, there's several notable things out there. There's a cave right there we'll take a quick look at. I've been out there several times. You're probably bored of it by now, but for those who are just joining us or new to the channel, I'll show you what's out there. There's an agave burn pit there. It's where Native Americans used to burn agave hearts for food. And these burn pits are generally the only evidence of the civilization. They're just these huge piles of rocks where they had fires and prepared food out there. But as far as anything else, there's not much left of them. The canyon itself is a mysterious place. Of all the places I've been, Joe May Canyon is the creepiest place I've been, especially at night. You just get a real uneasy feeling. The phantom footsteps, like I said, several folks have documented this. J-Chuck, YouTuber, Sean Kana, and I think even Scott Nuttall, some of the big name YouTubers in this Kenny Veach investigation series, have all kind of reported these phantom footsteps where, you know, you think you hear something or kind of feel something running behind you. You turn around, you look, and there's nothing there. I don't know what it is. Could be a logical explanation for it, I don't know. But several folks have mentioned it. I've even spoke to one of the authorities out here, one of the park authorities, and when I mentioned it, he kind of smiled and nodded his head like he had heard the stories or maybe even experienced it himself. So who knows, there may be something to it. All I know is I've been out here at night. It is a creepy freaking place. Kenny Veach mine is about 4 miles that way, where his cell phone was found. Last trace of him, he disappeared in thin air. Never been seen or heard from since. A lot of rumors out there. People say, oh, Kenny offed himself. Kenny was seen on video in his family's Reiki shop. Nothing has ever been proven, folks. No actual evidence has ever been proven that Kenny Veach is among the living or anywhere else but out there still somewhere. Could have had an accident, could have offed himself, could have, hell, I don't know, could have been abducted by aliens. Nobody really knows. All we're doing is retracing his steps, validating his claims as far as hikes, and looking for any evidence in his disappearance. Why? Because somebody has to. And this is just who we are and what we do. All right, we've arrived at the cave. It's a small cave. Been out here during the day, been out here at night. Hell, I've even taken a fan out here, a fan who was in Las Vegas and had a very special request to meet me out here and do a short hike, so I did take her out here. You know who you are. And we took a look at the cave. So it really doesn't go in, and this is typical of caves. This is an M cave. I didn't think it's an O cave. And this one here is very typical of the caves you see out here. So as far as the M cave goes, I've never seen anything remotely like what Kenny Veach described. This cave, as you can see, does not go in very far. It just goes in about, I don't know, several feet. Might make a decent shelter at night. Who knows what kind of insects or animals might be living in here, but this cave is very typical of the caves you see out here. There's not a deep, dark M cave that I've ever seen. In fact, I haven't seen any deep, dark caves here other than a mine. There are mine shafts that are deep and dark, but not really caves. So that's about typical for a cave out here. An M cave with supernatural powers, really hard to say. Another YouTuber, Jeff Claw, he reported that he did feel a strange vibration like Kenny Veach did. No explanation for that. Nor was it connected to a cave. Could have been something unrelated. But after all the videos I've made, unfortunately there are more questions than answers, as with any mystery or supernatural occurrence. So we'll keep going, and we'll keep making these videos as long as you keep watching them to try and solve the Kenny Veach mystery. or at least find some piece of evidence that may tell us what could have happened to Kenny. Now, I did get back from a trip to the Far East week before last, and it's really common to get sick when you come back because you're in a different time zone. You're on a plane for 13 or more hours and you don't really sleep. I suppose you're other people in and whatnot, so getting sick is actually to be expected. So I came down with a case of the flu or something that was really bad. Chills, headache, a little bit of stuffy nose, but mostly chills and headache. And apologize, I'm not 100% yet. My voice is probably a little scratchy still. And I've been getting rest, so I do feel up to a short hike. I don't know if I do a 6 to 10 miler today, but I could do a couple of miles. And it's probably just the best to get out here and get some exercise anyway. Here's the agave burn pit. Let's head up there and take a look. All that's left of these is just a big pile of rocks, and you can see the telltale signs, a lot of white rocks around. It looks kind of like a big crater or something where something just crashed down, but they dug it out and they burned their agave hearts here. We're gonna climb up here and take a quick look. Now, if you've seen this before, apologize if it's a little monotonous, but for folks new to the channel, I'm gonna show you. Not really much to it. Here's some footprints for people who walked up here, obviously. And that's all that's left. There's a little plateau up here, kind of an indentation. Native Americans burned their agave hearts and howled at the moon or whatever they did. But that's about it. See all of Joe May Canyon here, and it's a great day for hiking. A slight breeze, a little bit warm, but all in all, it's a good day for hiking. Now, I am wearing the same gear I usually wear on these hikes. Backpack with food, water. First aid here on the front of my pack. Got a tourniquet right there, keep it on my belt now. Small knife, small revolver just in case. And my boots, Garmin boots, 511 pants. You know, I don't come out here, even if it's a short hike, I come out fully prepared because the truck is right there. Las Vegas is about 20 miles that way. I could fall right here and nobody may be here for days. I am 100% on my own. Even though it's that close, this is that close to Las Vegas, you know, you could shoot a gun, you could do whatever you want. It's legal to, but if you did, nobody would hear it. You're on your own out here. That's why you've got to be prepared, even if it's close. You could see cars on the highway way out there, but they can't hear you. So you've got to be 100% prepared for anything that may happen out here, because nature is unforgiving, and this can be a dangerous place after all. If I was to disappear, I certainly wouldn't be the first one to do so. Like I said, I've been feeling a little under the weather lately, and it's been a week. I feel much better than I did earlier in the week. So, still trying to recover, so I am going a little bit slower than I usually go. It's warm, and it's a slight uphill incline, so I don't want to push my body too far. This isn't a hike for that. Now, there are hikes that come out, and I do push my body to the limits, but one of the biggest ways to survive is to know your limits. So today we're just chugging along, looking for a very specific location that's not that far out there. And once I'm at the place that looks like that photo I took, then we'll start searching for that rock pile. And if I find it, I'll uncover it and see if there's any clues buried there. Clues in the disappearance of Kenny Veach. It may be nothing, or maybe the one clue that breaks the case, who knows? Won't know till we get out there. And this is a hike I want to do for a long time. I just had other priorities, so today we're doing it. It's warm, it's about 11 a.m. already, so we did get a late start today. I did sleep in a little bit, and that's fine. It's not brutal hot, but I am sweating a lot, and that's okay. It helped me stay in shape. Here's something that I've seen before several times, and I've recorded several times, but like I said, for the benefit of those just joining the channel, I'll show you what it is. Some sort of a cross made out of rebar in the ground with a stick across the way and a jawbone. So I'm wondering if an animal is buried here. I don't know what this is or why it's here, but it's been here. I filmed this today, I filmed this during the night, and saw it a couple years ago, and it's been here ever since. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But just one of the things out here in the desert. Did somebody bury an animal out there? It's really hard to say. I will tell you this. I had a dog that passed away about, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago. Very sad, great dog, really, really great dog. And, you know, I could think of no better place than to bury it than out here. So I did, and I buried my dog out here. And I just thought it would be a nice, peaceful place for a dog to spend eternity. But unfortunately, the grave was dug up and the body was gone. And I don't know if it was an animal that did it or what it was, but at any rate, if you bury an animal out here, chances are predators will smell it and dig it up. And I'm assuming that's what happened, but I'm not sure. All I know is I went back to check the grave and the grave was empty. You make your own conclusions. Sad, no doubt, but you know, what are you gonna do? At any rate, you come out here during the day or night, whatever, and you see nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it doesn't mean there's nothing out here. There's animals, there's predators, coyotes, snakes. They're out here. You don't see them, but I guarantee they're here. So when people aren't around, it's a whole different area, especially at night. Let's keep on going. Shouldn't be too much farther. I'm not sure if this is the mountain. It's probably that one over there. Yeah, I think it is beyond that mountain, right beyond that mountain possibly. All I have to go on is a picture, so once I get to the approximate area, I got to pull out my phone, look at the picture, and see if we're about in the area where I filmed that pile of rocks. And if I can find it, I'll dig it up. I'll film me digging it up and moving the rocks and see if there's anything buried there. And, you know, who knows? Maybe there's a clue. Let's keep going and get to that location. Burrow, something dug. Doesn't look like it goes in very far. Maybe somebody started to dig here and stopped. Flies buzzing around, attracting the moisture on me. Kind of annoying, but it happens. So far, a whole lot of nothing. And I'm fairly certain just beyond that hill up there is where we need to go. I don't think this is it. It could be, but I doubt it. We'll come up a little more and see. My body's dragging today. And, you know, I'm not 18 anymore, but I am physically able to do hikes like this. So I keep in shape. So hopefully I can be doing things like this for years to come. All right. It could be here. I don't know. We're gonna come up a little bit more and see if this rock outcropping matches the picture. All right. Does it match the picture? I don't think it does. I think we need to keep going. It's got to be that one up there, way up there. All right, so I do have a new piece of equipment today. I know you guys like hearing about my gear and equipment, so you can't see it, but I have a pair of high-end compression socks. They're about $30 a pair. Got them online, and I used them for my long-term Asia flights. You're sitting on an airplane for 12 hours or more, and your feet start to swell. Deep vein thrombosis is a real issue, and it adds to your fatigue. Poor circulation, just general bad news. So these compression socks come all the way up to your knee. They hug your legs really tight and they supposedly increase circulation. So this is the first time I've worn socks like this out here. I usually wear darn tough socks, which come up all the way almost to my knee, but these compression socks do come all the way to the knee, and they're very tight and they increase circulation and help improve energy and blood flow and everything. So far I'm wearing them, and You know, it's really hard to tell a difference with just a pair of socks, but supposedly better for you for these hikes. That's what I'm going to start wearing from now on. I'm always changing my gear, refining my equipment. I used to carry a small survival kit in my backpack, but realized it's somewhat redundant to the gear I already have. Compass, redundant phones, batteries. Don't need a fishing kit out here, obviously, so I left the survival kit in the truck. But everything else I need is in the backpack. The cold weather blanket if I have to, the emergency blanket, first aid tourniquet, knives, everything is on my person, so I don't need redundant gear, it's just extra weight. All right. Like I said, that is not the peak, but it's in a place like this. And come over here. It's right about in this general area, that far from a peak like that. And I really think that that's the peak up there. So I'm gonna keep going. I'll match the picture to the peak, and if it matches, which I'm sure it will, and I'm fairly certain that is the peak, then we'll start looking for this rock pile. Now, I've looked for the rock pile before, couldn't find it, but I studied the picture, and I think if I can get to that exact point in the screenshot where I filmed that peak, I'll find that rock pile. Like I said, it's up against a little bush like this, and it's a pile of rocks that certainly appears man-made, and maybe somebody put something in there, or who knows? Maybe it was Kenny Veach who put something there, I don't know. But whatever it is, we'll go there and we'll unbury it. Now, you did remember one time, one of my videos, I think it was this one here, we did find a quartz claim. It was high in the cliffs above Picture Canyon. I saw a rock cairn from the bottom, or rather, credit where credit's due, my good buddy Woodchuck. Subscribe to his channel, by the way, Woodchuck, my partner in these videos out in Texas. Spotted that rock cairn. I went back out, climbed the cliffs of Picture Canyon, saw the rock cairn, and did notice a small tin inside there that contained a quartz claim that was probably about 100 years old. So kind of interesting stuff. You never know what you're going to find in a pile of rocks, which is why we're out here. So I think what we need to do now is come over here, climb this little hill, and come up on that high ground out there through this kind of yucca forest, and keep on going north. North towards Joe May Guzzler area, then finding the Kenny Veach mine. We're not going that far, but just past this rock outcropping right here is where we need to go. These uphill inclines, these climbs are always tough. It's just slow, tedious, monotonous, and it really just kind of takes a toll. So you've got to just take your time, put one foot in front of the other, and you'll make it up there. But it is hard on your body, which is why you got to be in shape for these hikes. I just took a drink of water, trying to stay hydrated. Kenny Veach was known for saying many times that he would push himself to the limit, purposely avoid drinking water, eating food, just to see how far you could push your body. Not a very smart thing to do, because push your body too far like that and you collapse and disappear, which is exactly what happened out here. Was it because of no water and food? Nobody knows for sure. But one thing for sure is you don't mess around when you come out here. Your body's a machine. If you don't take care of it, it's going to fail you. Maybe Kenny Veach's body failed him. Nobody knows. The thing is, Kenny could be anywhere out here, and you wouldn't even know it. He said this is the perfect place to disappear, and it truly is. Been out here many, many times, and every time I come out, there's always something new, something interesting. You just never know what you may run into out here. So we'll keep our eyes open and see if we find anything new out here. But we're getting closer to the point where I suspect I saw that rock pile, and then we're going to be looking for it, and hopefully we'll find it. Zigzagging through these yucca trees here, these spikes are like hypodermic needles. They will stab you, and you will not have a good day. And they're right about eye head level right there, and last thing you need is to be stabbed by one of these, so you got to just keep your eyes open. Down there too. Now, I try not to get too close to these bushes because every now and then there could be a rattlesnake in there. I haven't seen any snakes, knock on wood, out here, but I can assure you they're out here. And rattlesnake bite out here this far from civilization would be deadly. I do have a Garmin communicator where I can send message for help, rescue via satellite. And generally, you'll have a cell signal out here because the highway's way out there. So we're not that far, but I mean, if you think about it, unless it's in a helicopter, which would be hideously expensive, it's going to be tough to get you out of here if you were bit by a snake or something were to happen. So you've got to just be careful. Watch yourself at all times. So it's just as well that I'm going uphill, walking slowly and deliberately. Keep my eyes open, my wits about me. Looks like maybe some hoof prints here. Bighorn sheep, perhaps. There are bighorn sheep out here. Coyotes and horses, wild horses, they're out here, but I don't know if they're in this specific area, but they are out here in Nevada. Biggest predators, mountain lion and coyote. And I've never seen either one of those two out here. Not in this specific area, but I guarantee they are here. So we'll just keep our eyes open. All the times I've been out here in the past several years, I've never seen anything other than the terrain that will pose a danger. And the terrain itself can be the most deadly of all. So we'll keep going, keep our wits about us, and get to where we're going. This rock cropping here, we're getting closer. That, I think, is what we're looking for. So once we're on the other side of it, we'll start matching it up to that picture I have, and if that's the right place, we'll commence the search for that pile of rocks that may potentially hold something, some secret or surprise in it. All right, here's a bone fragment. Just one small bone fragment. I don't know where the rest of the skeleton is. This might make a good shank or something, but it's just part of a bone. It's been out here a long time. Probably animal, and somewhat typical out here in the desert. You do just sometimes come across bones bleached by the sun. This dry desert air and the sun is actually very good at preserving things. So you just never know what you may find out here. Just keep on going, slowly but surely. Once we get to the top of this ridge line, we'll go down, and I believe that valley up there is our target. On the clock, almost a mile. But since we've started the clock a quarter mile afterwards, it's probably well more than a mile. And that valley is where we need to go. I'm fairly certain that's the valley where I saw that cache, that rock pile. And I think this is the mountain, but we won't know it till we're up there. So got a little ways to go. We'll get there, and we'll find out, hopefully find that rock pile. But it is literally looking for a needle in a haystack. Let's keep going. Continue this hike, this uphill trek through the desert. See what treasures we could find today. Not much animals out here, but ants. And here's an ant carrying something that's looks like it's twice as big as he is, a seed maybe. If you could see that. He just trucking along, trying to carry the seed to wherever he's going, and struggling. Tremendous strength. They bite, so you don't want to get too close. But we'll let him go on his way. Just when I think my backpack is a big bird and you see a little guy like this, you know that that's his daily struggle. This is our daily struggle, at least for today. Carrying a heavy backpack, not that heavy, but heavy enough. Oh, here's the anthill. They're digging it out. There's probably a big dirt mound here, but last time it rained probably washed all the dirt away, but there's still a lot of ants going in there. Not gonna get too close, they do bite. It's not pleasant when you do get bit by one of the ants, so we'll just let them go about their business. At any rate, we're almost at the top of this ridge line to that valley where that rock possibility is. Now keep in mind, Kenny Veach's phone was found by a mine shaft up there. There is another mine out here. Nothing more than a prospect pit with some wood, but It is another mine. I believe Agua Chigger found it. I've tried to find it several times. I couldn't, but it's out here. Somewhere right around here, I'm guesstimating. Hard to say where. Nothing more than a small hole, but I haven't found it yet. I know there's no ants by this one, but here is a hole probably dug by ants, and you can see kind of the crater there. It looks like a little mini volcano or something, but that's typically what they look like. Ants and insects are one thing that I have seen a lot of out here. Animals not so much, but the animals, I can assure you, they are out here. I need to go a little bit further that way. Right straight out that way is where we got to go, and I'll match this rock outcropping with the picture I have, and if it matches, I'll know we're in the right place. But let's keep on going and get to our destination. On the clock, about an hour. Estimated to be about a mile and a half so far. Estimate, but I'm not sure because we started this a quarter mile after the hike, approximately. This, I believe, is the peak in the picture. It doesn't look like it from here, but over there it might. And I think somewhere out there is where we need to go. Somewhere right out there. There's an agave burn pit there, so I think we're gonna target that burn pit and then go left right along this kind of line right there, and begin the search. But I'll have to match the picture because if I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere out there. It has to be. It just has to be. I'm getting tired. Like I said, I've been feeling under the weather, so my voice a little bit scratchy, nose a little bit stuffy, but I'm still out here. I'm sweating, getting exercise. When you're sick, just sitting around, you know, you need exercise, you need vitamin D, you need to get out in the sun, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'll rest good tonight, but for now, we've got a job to do. We're gonna head due north, like I said, to that burn pit, and then we'll commence the search out there once we've matched the picture up to see if we're in the right location. Let's keep on going, slowly but surely. We've got 11:52, it's almost lunchtime. I got freeze-dried food. I think I brought breakfast skillet today, and we'll probably have that out here somewhere. So today's not a long-range hike, but it is nevertheless a hike several miles in the desert. So we've got to carry food, gear, whatever else we need. There is no restaurants or anything to sustain us out here, so that's why everything on our back is what we need for survival. And you got to be prepared for anything that could happen. Become incapacitated. What you have is what you have, and that's it. Just keep on going. All right, somewhere in this general vicinity is where I suspect that rock pile is. And it's truly like looking for a needle in a haystack. We may not find it, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna head to that agave burn pit right now. It's not that far. Just traversing across the open desert, uneven terrain, and then we'll start making our way this direction to try to match our picture to this peak, and I think that's it. We won't know until we're actually in position. I am getting a little bit tired. During our heyday, when we're out here every single weekend or at least 2 or 3 times a month, you stay in shape pretty well. And these hikes are nothing but a thing. But if you haven't been out here for a while, it's tough getting back into the routine. Now, I do work out every day. I do, strength training, and usually a 2-mile hike or jog, mostly a hike, just to try to keep in shape for this kind of terrain every day. And that's how I condition my body. And I have been doing that, but still there's no better training than actually doing it yourself out here in full gear, backpack, and everything else over these rocks. That's what really gets you in shape. All right. I've often wondered about trees like this in the middle of the desert. Something like that takes more water than the average bushes. And just makes you kind of wonder, why is there one tree in the middle of the desert? Strange. At any rate, let's keep on going. This stuff here will stab us. We've been stabbed by this before, so I'm going to stay away from it. And just keep on going through the open desert. We're almost there. That agave burn pit. Oh, look, we got some artifacts here. Cans. Maybe sardines or something, I don't know. Oil can. How long has this stuff been here? I don't remember seeing this before. What else is out here? I don't even know if I've been to this specific burn pit before. One thing for sure, this agave burn pit is hundreds of years old. These cans could be up to 100 years old. You don't see much evidence of people out here. Towards the mine you do, but not other places. So these cans out here, I haven't actually seen all these cans before. Clearly somebody had used this burn pit as a camping spot or a stopping spot, no doubt on the way to the mine. I didn't realize there was this much debris out here in this area, all over here. Told you I've been to this valley many, many times, and maybe I just haven't been here before. Hard to say. I'm gonna come up here a little bit. Some more can there. More can, some rocks. This is second burn pit up here. I don't know. Looks like it might be. An old can. Not marked. Use a church key to get in there. Yeah, this is the second agave burn pit here. More cans, artifacts, anything else. I'm not seeing anything else around here. But as much as I've been through Jome Canyon, I haven't been here before. Now, I told you there's another mine out here, kind of a prospect bait, just a little hole. It's out here somewhere. It may actually be closer down towards the entrance, I'm not sure, but it's out there somewhere. Little valleys like this, I've not been in before, but it's gonna take a little bit of effort to hike all the way out there and check the base. I'm not gonna do it, I'm here for a set purpose. I'm not gonna deviate, and I'm hungry, it's time for lunch. But it just goes to show you, Katy Veach could be in any one of these small valleys. It could be anywhere out here. And as many times I've been through Jome Canyon, I haven't seen this burn pit or these old cans, these artifacts. So come through 100 times, you'll see something new. You just never know. Just never know. As always, if you see something that I don't, call it out in the comments. I can always come back out if it's something compelling. So far I'm just seeing a bunch of cans. Somebody had their camp here. And I usually like to have lunch in the shade, but I'm not seeing any shade in the immediate area, so I think I'm gonna have lunch here in this agave burn pit. Not really any place to sit. I put this old kind of stovepipe here. I'm gonna sit here and try to have my lunch. All right, aside from being in the direct sunlight, this seems to be working pretty good. Let's see what we have on tap today. Oh, it looks like breakfast skillet. Okay, that's what it is. Not a big deal. That usually is ready pretty quickly. I got some extra water there. Snacks. I do have one of these wellness shots. Thanks for this. One of my friends gave this to me, and I'll drink this to try to stay healthy. But otherwise, we're going to sit here, have our lunch, and then we'll proceed right out there. And I think that could be the peak in the picture, but we'll find out once we're out there. So let's have a little bit of food, and we'll get back to the hike. All right, field sanitation is an important part of our hikes. I do carry these wet ones. I'm not a spokesman for them. I just carry something that kills germs, just to kind of show you how I keep my hands clean out here and wiped off. You don't want to put your fingers anything around food products if you haven't wiped them, because you just never know. So just saying. Sitting here eating my lunch out of a bag, I can't help it what it's like for the folks back hundreds of years ago eating out of a can like that. sitting in this exact same spot in a can. No cameras, no smartphones, no anything. Just them in the open wilderness, just like I am. Would have thought that they would have thought that 100 years later, somebody else would be here with modern technology. Doing a hike, checking out the land just like they did. All right, to finish lunch, here's our lunch spot. I was sitting here on this old stovepipe, I guess, and as always, we have left nothing but footprints, unlike our forefathers who have left cans and trash all over the place. But you can see it's been here for a long time and has done nothing but sit here and rust. Looking around, here's another piece of glass. Not really seeing anything else around here. Some more cans there. But for the most part, I think that's about it for this burn pit. Some artifacts here we'll check out. Where we need to go is out there. And I'm fairly certain that this peak is the one that will match in the picture. So we'll get a little further out there and then we'll hold up the camera and see if what we're seeing with our eyes matches the picture that I took. And if it does, then we'll know we're in the right place. All right, more cans here. Another big oil can here. They would have had to pack this out on horses or mules back in the day. And no doubt heading out to that mine shaft, the Kenny Veach mine shaft, where his phone was found a couple miles up that way. Probably about 2 miles. I think we're about halfway there to the mine shaft, I'm not sure. Not going all the way there today. Maybe we'll head out there again in a future video. So you definitely want to make sure you subscribe so you can be notified when I post new videos, because you just never know. Now that I'm getting back in the swing of things for making videos, I've got a lot of stuff planned. I'll make an announcement at the end of the video as to what I have planned for this year, but it is some really exciting stuff. And some more night videos as well. All right. Somewhere in this valley is where it is. This general area. I'll tell you what, I do feel much better after having some lunch and some food, the snacks, some water and resting. Kenny Veach said he pushed himself out here and didn't eat or drink unless you really had to, but I'll tell you what, no reason to torture your body. Your body's a machine. Keep it well oiled and well fed and it'll do you well. All right, the search begins. Let's come a little bit further. All right, somewhere here. What about this peak? Is that a match? Can you see? I think it is a match. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. But I do think it's further that way, so we'll keep going, because if you look at the, without zooming in, we're obviously a lot closer in the picture than we are here, so I think we do need to go down a little bit more, and that's what we're going to do. But that is the peak, and we are in the right location. So somewhere in this general area is where it should be. All right, we're close. Can you see that? That is about what we're looking at. It's right around here somewhere. It's right around here. So I have to keep my eyes open for a pile of rocks up against a bush. Easier said than done. It could be anywhere. I'm gonna stay on the kind of high ground of this small ridge line here and just look out there, looking at these small bushes, anything that looks like I might have a pile of rocks up against it. And it's right in this area. Now it has rained and flooded, but I don't think there's been any significant water flow that would wash away such a pile of rocks. But it's definitely in this little valley right here. Somewhere right inside here is where it is. Like I said, it may be just a pile of rocks, or it could be something that Kenny Veach left. So I'll come down here, then I'll go back up. I don't have time or patience to do a grid search, but I am going to do a very thorough search. Like I said, I walked right by it before. Didn't think much of it at the time. It's just an unnatural pile of rocks up against a bush. Needle in a haystack. I think I'll come down this way, then maybe loop up this way, then maybe go back down that way. Almost like a grid search. It actually shouldn't be too hard to spot because most of these bushes don't have a pile of rocks by them. And I know kind of sort of what it looks like. You know, there may be some growth, brush around the area that might be preventing me from seeing it. The terrain may have changed, but for the most part, I expect it should still be here. Let's keep looking. Mostly a pile of rocks, but I do see is another bone out here. Now, I don't think it's human, it's probably animal. Been out here a while, sun bleached, let me get out of the sun, or in the shadow there, and you can see it better. So yeah, bone. Just another little artifact out here, so we'll keep looking. That's the peak, but I don't think it's this far. I think we bypassed it and it's probably closer to this small ridge line up there. So I'm gonna come a little bit closer and make another run north up the valley and see if I could somehow spot it. Now you'd think it'd be hard to find a pile of rocks up against a bush, but look, here's a bush. It's a bush just like this, but it's got a very deliberately placed pile of rocks next to it, which this does not, and most bushes do not have a pile of rocks next to them. This particular bush did, so it should be easy to spot if you keep your eyes open, which I'm trying to do. So we'll see. I know we're in the right location because you can see in the picture that is definitely the same peak. So it's right in this area somewhere. I do see more bones. A lot of bones out here. There's even more. But I'm not seeing a bush with a pile of rocks up against it. It more than likely is closer to this kind of little ridge line there. But I'm just slowly taking my time, checking all bushes, keep my eyes open. We were over there a little bit. Now we're over here, and then we'll come back down here and see if we can somehow spot it. Been out here a couple times before, and I've never ever found it again. Now, yes, there could have been flowing water here during a monsoon rain that washed it away. Somebody else could have found it. Anything could have happened. But if it's still here intact, I hope we can find it. Like I said, I was coming through here. It was my first time through Jome Canyon. And I just saw that pile of rocks there that looked out of place. I didn't think anything of it at the time. You're looking too, right? If you spot it, let me know. I will say this. It is under a bush on this side of the bush. Not the other side, but this side. Keep looking. Still not seeing it. If it's here, more than likely it is in this little area here, somewhere around here. So I'm gonna come back down, and I'm fairly certain it's somewhere around here, if it still exists. And that's what we're gonna check. It'll be a bush just like this, just like one of these small bushes, only there's a very pronounced stack of rocks. And I'm not seeing it. And I'm fairly certain that this is the exact location. I'm just not seeing it. Just goes to show you folks, if you see something strange out here, you've got to document it because you may never be able to find it again. Sound like a familiar story? Kenny Veach, mcave. He found a cave out here, couldn't find it again. Well, I can assure you the stack of rocks is real because I took a picture of it and you saw the picture. It is a real picture. There is a stack of rocks out here somewhere. At least it was at one time. I can't promise it's still here. It's got to be around somewhere. I'm fairly certain this is the way I came through the first time I was out here. I may have just found it. Oh, but god dang, I just think I just found it. Is that it? Basically, that is it. I'm pretty sure. Let me check the phone picture. Yes, sir. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we found it. Now, is this stack of rocks man-made or not? I don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the camera on a tripod here, and you're going to watch me move these rocks aside and see if anything's under there. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but we found it. We dang found it. I'll be damned if we didn't find it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a moment of truth. We're putting the gloves on. We're going to find out once and for all what's in this pile of rocks. Now I get it. Maybe there's flowing water that pushed the rocks here. Some of these rocks are so big that I don't think flowing water will push them. For example, look at this one. This is pretty heavy. Deliberately under this bush. Another one. Another heavy rock. I will tell you right now, flowing water did not make this. We're gonna slowly, methodically move these rocks aside and once and for all find out what's here, if anything. And it might just be a rock pile, I don't know. But something is under here. It's gotta be. These rocks just look too deliberately placed here. I'm gonna slowly move this stuff aside. Big heavy rocks. I'm seeing a lot of dirt and silt, so clearly water was flowing through here. But so far I'm not seeing anything. Oh shit! Big ass scorpion. Big ass scorpion. My God, that's a big son of a bitch. That's a big shit. That's the biggest scorpion I've ever seen out here. Holy shit. That's not like the usual scorpion. That bastard was big. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find him. Big ass scorpion. Huge. Biggest one I've seen in Nevada. Oh my God. There he is. Right there. See him? Look at that bad boy. Huge. Huge. That's not a normal scorpion. That's a big one. Look at him. See him in there? Big boy. Yeah. Dangerous. Dangerous everywhere. Holy cow. That sucker was huge. Okay. I'll move this rock. I don't want to get stung. He's in there somewhere. Man, things I do for you guys. Holy shit. Sorry. Okay. There's a lot of silt, moisture. And a big ass scorpion in there somewhere. Ugh. I don't know where he is. He crawled deep in there somewhere. I didn't think there were scorpions that big out there. I've seen little bark ones at the house, but not a big one like that. Ugh. This big rock. Can't. Okay. Oh, was that him again? I don't know. Oh my God. A big ass scorpion, who would have thought? Huh? Ugh. Okay. Well, like it goes down a little bit. Alright, heading back in. Now, there's some dirt, seeds, and silt that more than likely washed here one time during a rain. I'm gonna be careful, that big ass scorpion's in here somewhere. And here I am, moving rocks, reaching in, risking to get stung. Okay. Okay. I'm not seeing anything. I moved all the rocks away. These big rocks, how much effort it took us to move these rocks. That was a lot of effort. I don't think they were here naturally. A bunch of birds just took off from the area. The guzzler. Joe May guzzler out there. What scared him? Is there a predator or something in the Joe May guzzler right now? Or something even bigger? There's danger everywhere out here. You can't see it, but there is. Just go to show you. Why don't you spend the night out here, SB? Come on, SB, spend the night. Yeah, spend the night. Have one of these big bad boys in my sleeping bag? I don't think so. That sucker was huge. All right. Kenny Veach. If Kenny Veach buried something here, I think we would have found it by now. And I'm not seeing anything. Hearing a lot of birds. They're on that tree over there. I don't know what scared them. We have to venture up by the guzzler and see if there's an animal up there. But for right now, I'm not seeing anything. I'm just seeing a pile of rocks. I don't see anything obvious. I mean, yeah, Kenny Veach or somebody could have dug down a little bit and buried something there, but I'm more than likely, if they did, I don't think it would have been much further. What we need to do is bring a metal detector out here. Although it could be a piece of paper that could be gone by now, but those big rocks, I don't think they were put here naturally. I don't. The water could have flown. I mean, it's hard to say. Anything's possible, but at any rate, holy shit, that scorpion scared the crap out of me. That was a big one. I don't see anything, and if I dig down, the only thing I'm guaranteed to find is that scorpion, which I don't want. So I'm gonna call it. Even a metal detector right here, there's not to say there's a little plastic thing with a piece of paper in it. A clue. Was there a clue? There wasn't a clue. There was such a much worse than a clue. There was danger. So who knows? Kenny Veach in his weakened state, maybe he came across one of the scorpions, got stung, and passed out in some gully or valley, and somehow perished out here. Who knows? Red Rock Search and Rescue said his scent stopped at the mine, but I mean, who knows? Anything's possible, you know. It might have been a few days since he was found. He could have rained out here. I mean, anything's possible. You know, maybe he kept going. I do have some hikes planned further out there, but for right now, the possible treasure of Joe May Canyon turned out to be not a treasure, but a nightmare. And I'm just not seeing anything here. So unfortunately, I'm gonna call it. That scorpion gave me the creeps. I don't want to dig down any further, but if there's not something obvious under these rocks, then we're gonna keep on going and get out of here, but I would say the mystery of the Jomay rock pile has been solved. Nothing there but danger. Let's peek over this hill towards the Jomay guzzler, see if maybe there's an animal that scared those birds, and then we'll start meandering our way out of here. I don't see anything obvious. All right, that way and kind of up the valley is the Jomay guzzler. It's a water point for animals. We've been through there many times, but I'm not going to go up there. There's just no reason to. But that's about it. I pinned this location, and I have no plan to come back. I'm not in this particular spot, but I do have plans to come back in Jomay Valley. The weather's getting cooler. Daylight savings time is the beginning of November, which means it starts getting dark around 4 p.m. I do have some extra lighting equipment I bought that I'm excited to try out. So do expect some night hikes out here. Lots more videos coming now that the weather's cooling off. So please like and subscribe to the channel. I can't tell you how much that helps me. You know, these videos, all the effort I put into, all you gotta do is like and subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't get spam. Just like and subscribe. For right now, I'm gonna venture on that way. I still got the creeps from that freaking big scorpion, but I'm gonna kind of start meandering my way out of here. All right, it's all downhill from here, about a mile and a half back to the truck. Shouldn't be that big a deal. I've had lunch. Still got the heebie-jeebies from that massive scorpion we saw. Just go to show you, I told you, you don't see animals out here, but they are very much here. They're out. You'll see them at night. You may see them occasionally, but there's a lot of life out here that you just simply don't see. And scorpions like that, they'll hide under rocks and burrows during the day, and they may be out at night hunting for insects, but they're definitely out here. It is, it's not a dead place. This place is teeming with life. You just have to know how to find it. For now, I think we've had just about enough. So we're heading back to the truck, and we'll call it a day. And we'll do a conclusion, and that'll be it for this adventure. But like I said, like and subscribe, because I've got several other videos planned, including some up near Rachel, just some old mines near Area 51 that I've wanted to map out for a long time. That'll require an overnight up there. So you got that to look forward to, and some more night hikes and some more surprises I have coming. So stay tuned. And so far, not a long hike. On the clock, 3.32 miles, 2 hours, 18 minutes. Probably a little bit longer than that because we got a late start on the clock, but the truck is out there. We just got to make it across this desert. So let's make it across this big open area. We'll get to the truck, do a quick conclusion, and that'll be it. Uneven terrain. Just because I saw the truck in sight doesn't mean I'm going to call it and say, we're home safe. We still got to traverse the open desert. Anything could happen. Fall, twisted ankle, snake bite, anything. Knock on wood, hopefully none of that will happen, but I'm just saying, you're not there till you're there. Just got to be careful, keep your wits about you. I feel okay. It wasn't a long hike. Just under 4 miles, just fine. I needed this. I needed to stay in shape. I needed to get back out here in the desert. So, like I said, you can expect a lot more videos coming up. If you're not subscribed, you're definitely going to want to be, because you never know what you're going to see on the channel. Final push up the hill. Oh, made it to the road, and there's the truck. We're safe, home free. Folks, I want to thank you for watching, joining us in this adventure. I'm tired, I'm sweaty. 4 miles in the open desert on the clock. 3.45 miles. 2 hours, 21 minutes. Keep in mind we're out there about half a mile when we started the clock, so probably just under 4. Jomay Valley, most mysterious place in America. Somewhere out there, Veach disappeared and is still there. Or not. But that was the last place he was seen. The hidden cache out there, there was a hidden cache. But not all caches are something positive. That's it for this adventure, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Please Please like and subscribe. It makes a big difference. Like and subscribe. And I'll keep making videos. Deal? That's all you gotta do. You subscribe, I keep making videos. Till the next time, folks. See you in the next adventure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post a new one. All of my videos are unscripted as they happen. I can't promise they'll be exciting, but I can promise they'll be 100% real. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures.